Hello, this is Frostdog and welcome back to Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. A lot happened last time, so let's go over it. We found our bird. We participated in the wing ceremony, won it. Zelda gave us a sailcloth. Zelda got sucked below the cloud barrier by a black tornado that wasn't really black. Well, we met V, got the goddess sword, got a few other things such as shield, bottles, heart piece, anything we'll need for the adventure ahead. An opening in the cloud barrier has been made, and so with that, we will march forward and chase after Zelda. Today, well, I just said what we were going to do. So, why don't we just get straight to it, dive, and head towards the break in the cloud barrier. Not really much to talk about here, I'm afraid. Probably should have started the episode in the sky heading towards the cloud barrier. I do have to say though, I really do like the flying in this game. I thought it was a really cool idea. I do wish they did put a bit more to do in the air, and I will go over what we can do, but in a little bit. For right now, we're just going to push forward and chase after Zelda.
Maria request some audio number. Chat is Lord. Mari mata says saya no hangisyosa. Ira request no notes niya.
With that, the adventure continues. Now, V did mention there to make sure to use a sailcloth before landing. I didn't actually hit B. It just went off on its own. And whenever you land on the surface or in Skyloft after jumping off your bird, the sailcloth will automatically be deployed once you get close enough to the ground. So you never really need to worry about when you land. She says you need to worry about it more when you're, say, jumping off this cliff, and you want to get to the bottom safely. You will take damage if you don't deploy the sailcloth. So she's referring to more situations like that. So over here we have a bird statue, but unfortunately we cannot use it yet. And over here we have a new enemy, Deku Babas. Wow, great start. So its mouth is sideways, so naturally you want to slice sideways and decapitate it essentially. And spin attacks also work. And there's one other way you can defeat them if you're. I have the information that I can offer you information. Great job, V. Anyways, as I was saying, say you come up to this one. You're not good at slashing sideways. So instead, if you just time it right, you can. Oh yeah, you can also stab by instructing to leave my cord. But if you time it just right, then you can actually just block with the shield. You have to like thrust the nunchuck right when it attacks you, and you'll force it back, and then you can just attack it and it'll die. You don't need to attack in a specific direction. With that, why don't we head down here? with that oddly, well, terrifying vision of what might be to come. Well, why don't we try heading inside here? Except when we don't, Fee will actually tell us something helpful for once, and let us know that this door is... Okay, I don't know how you could tell it's been opened recently, but it's sealed shut. And yes, you could probably tell just by looking at it, but, you know, just in case, because that could also just be a fancy door design, who knows. Over here we do have hearts to get, so if you lost any like me, you can come here and get it. I would normally say you shouldn't, and it would be really bad if you did lose hearts by this point, but then again, I just lost hearts, so I can't really speak. So, why don't we head down to the center of this area? It's the only place we can really go. So like Fee was mentioning, you could use a sailcloth, or else you must use it or else you'll take damage, like this. Or, like this. Oh, and be extra careful if you're playing on hero mode, because one time I was being gutsy and like trying to get this sailcloth out last second on hero mode, and I died. I took 2 hearts when I only had 2 hearts left, and I forgot that everything, including fall damage on hero mode, is double damage. And for the sailcloth, you'd only need to bring it out for a split second. You don't even need to use it the entire time. Just bring it out a little bit before you hit tap B, and you'll be good. Young one, child of destiny, descended from the sky. I'm sorry if my voice is my old, not old, but like echoey super voice isn't really doing much. Raise the sword of the goddess skyward. Take aim at the evil aura and unleash its power. So, just like we did with the bird symbols in Skyloft, strike it with the Skyward Strike and see what happens. With that, air vents have been created. It will allow an easy way for us to come back up. And, well, no way, Fee. You sense a change? I sense one too. Seriously. So, she said she detects an aura that's similar to the one on her sailcloth, and that we can use it to track down Zelda. She will give you a tutorial on the basic idea of this, but I think I can explain it better. Well, she can explain it pretty well, but it takes a while. So you just want to press C, and if you hold C down, you can select the target. Basically, she's using the aura of the sailcloth, matching it with the aura that she senses, and we can follow it. It will just point us in a general direction we want to go. If you're lost, this is a good idea, or a good way to let yourself know the general direction of where you go. It won't be the... Excuse me. Sorry about that. So it won't let you know exactly what you need to do, it's just there to give you a general direction to go in. So if you can tell by that wooden platform up there, the sealed door is up there, and the sword's pointing towards it. So that's obviously where we need to head. But before we go there, I want to bring your attention to the wall paintings here. Go ahead and put that so you don't have the orrery background. You can sort of see what's going on. What looks like a figure here, and what looks like a skull demon face here. I'll be quite frank with you guys. I've never noticed this until just now. And it's amazing. Like, I've literally... And this is a brand new file. This system has no hero mode or cleared file on it, because I cleared it on my Wii, but this is my Wii U. So this is stuff you can see from the first time you're here. And like I said, I've never noticed this before. I had no idea this existed. But you can see here what looks like a battle. Actually, yes, no, I recognize the scene. Right there, if you watch the opening to Skyward Sword, if you just left it on the title screen, you will see a transition of some cave-like carvings. This is one of them. This is the one where it says the goddess then teamed up with the rest of the forces after the humans were lifted up to the sky in order to combat evil. And this is another one from the opening of I believe the people worshipping the goddess. Like, you see the people there, and there's a light right there, the pedestal, some pillars, ground. Oh, what's this one? Again, another one from the opening. And the great evil that threatened the light. Again, another one from the opening. And like I said, I'll be quite frank, I didn't notice it until this time playing. I never knew those paintings were there until literally just paying attention to the cutscene. So it's amazing when you replay this game, what exactly you can find. And it's little details like that that I really like. I really like it when games do that they just have these little details sprinkled out. I think it's something Zelda games in general do a good job with, especially the more recent ones. Like, Breath of the Wild isn't out in the US yet, but this is like the third time I've mentioned Breath of the Wild. I really should make a habit of stop mentioning it. But you can see little details everywhere. So the seal on the door is coming undone. With that, we can enter this apparently recently opened door, because you can tell it was just opened recently. With that, welcome to the Sealed Temple. Yeah, I guess I sort of spoiled the name there, but don't worry, it's going to appear in the top right, or top left. Wow, my bad. Top left, not top right. There's a save statue over there, so it's behind the pillar. There's a save statue over there, but why don't we head towards the light, because that's always a good thing in video games, right? Ah, the traveler descended from the clouds above. I welcome you, child of fate. Tell me, what is your name? Link? Ah, Link. Good. Very good. I sense you have already gained control over the sacred power that fills your sword when pointed skyward. The Skyward Strike is yours to command. I believe that is the first time that was outright named in the game. It is proof that you are fit to bear the blade you carry, the Goddess Sword. I have sat here for many years, waiting for you to arrive, all so that I could fulfill my purpose as your guide. And while I was born waiting, I was watching my hair swing back and forth. It is very entertaining, you see. You stand under the roof of the Sealed Temple, a place built by the goddess an eternity ago. Your arrival here was predestined many, many years ago. The spirit maiden you seek arrived here shortly before you, descending to this land in a shower of light, because a shower of light looks like an evil, menacing tornado that sucks people out of the sky. There's no doubting it, the gears of fate have begun to turn. Yet all is not as it should be. The spirit maiden was not meant to reach this land in the manner she did. You said she descended in a shower of light, and now you're saying that was bad? I mean, we know that she got sucked down by a tornado, and that's probably not a shower of light. But seriously, I feel an evil power working in the shadows. It moves to warp the destiny of which you two are a part. Link. What, did we tell her our name? I don't think we ever told her Link's name. You are concerned for the Spirit Maiden and seek her whereabouts, yes? That is understandable, but for now, you must focus on moving forward. That girl has her own purpose she must pursue, as do you. She set out for Faron Woods to discover that destiny for herself, and you must follow. Yes, we must not worry about Zelda, let her follow her destiny, but our destiny is to follow her. So, by ignoring Zelda and following our destiny, we are following Zelda. Okay, so this is a new mechanic, and it's one that's really helpful. Basically, on the map, you can take a beacon and mark it. You can only place one, unfortunately. You can't place more. And so if you just zoom in, see what this X is, if you press C, you can just place it there. And of course, you can move it. You can remove a beacon and move it around. And of course, you can't see it from indoors or anything, because that would be really weird. And so we have to go ahead and chase after Zelda, but she tells us to take the contents of the treasure chest in this room. And I highly recommend taking it. It's really, really important. You want it. I mean, it's not vital or required. In fact, I was talking to my sister, and she never even knew a chest was there. She just ignored the dialogue and went on. But if you go to the right here and find this chest, you can find that it has a revitalizing potion. I am so sorry. This is like the 3rd time I burped this episode. It's just like, oh, and I hit the table again with my Wiimote. That's going to be a recurring thing. Thankfully, though, the phone has not gone off this episode. It looks like it's going to remain that way. So you could save. I took damage earlier. I talked about what would happen if you didn't have your sailcloth. There's a reason I did this. I want to show off a really interesting mechanic. So you see this little chair? You can sit in it. Yeah, so the old lady just sort of stares at us and questions why we're doing that. But if you notice, our hearts were restored. I don't know if this works in hero mode. I never actually tried it for myself. But if you need a quick way to restore hearts and you don't want to burn a potion or fairies, which you can get from these jars, if you have an empty bottle, you can select one, press A to scoop something in it. And with that, you can, there is a fairy, yes, there's a fairy here which will restore, I believe, 6 hearts? Yeah. If you fall in battle and lose all your hearts, then it will restore 6 hearts. There's another stool over here. So fairies are really useful to have, but I like my revitalizing potions, so I'm going to just keep those for now. So, why don't we head outside and see what else we have to do. And begin our chase. Ugh, cannot speak. Which I'm sure I've said a million times over. But let's begin our journey to track down Zelda, even though we already sort of begun it when we descended to the servers, but that's not the point, because now we've been told that we need to go chase Zelda, even though we've been told before, and I'm not making any sense at this point. Let's just go towards the light, because going towards the light is always a good thing. Out of the way! Scram! If we come towards them, they'll begin to attack us, so why don't we help them? Oh, hold on, I want to get this, Wait, when did I take damage? You got an ornament skull. This is another collectible. You can get these from Bokoblins. I believe that's what they're called. Like I said, just another collectible. So, they like to move their sword. So Bokoblins, they like to move their sword in whatever direction your sword is generally facing. So if I hold it to the right, they'll do that. So really, the best way to defeat them is to just flail back and forth, either horizontally or vertically, but not completely random, as you want to sort of trick them. So we rescued our Goron friend here. If those of you are familiar with the Zelda series, you should recognize the Gorons. Just who were those red pests? I did not expect them to run into. I did not expect to run into a pack of them in this peaceful forest. Same goes for you. This is the 2nd time I've bumped into one of your kind today. I tell you, all sorts of weird things are going on lately. I owe you big for taking care of those guys, so let me tell you something fascinating. Hey bud, I'm Gorko the Goron. I am researching the ancient history of these woods here. According to the ancient texts, there is some kind of place up above called the Isle of the Goddess, far up in the sky. Apparently, these old statues serve as landmarks to those traveling up to the sky, or down from this Isle of the Goddess place. If you find one, be sure to examine it, to keep tabs on the number of landmarks. They are rumored to be quite useful. Supposedly, this statue is special, as it is said to have the ability to activate all other statues. This specific statue, in the corner outside the temple, where no one would see it, is super special. The whole thing sounds a little crazy, I know, but I, for one, believe it to be true. Otherwise, why would all these statues be here all over the place? It is a real head-scratcher, bud. Makes you want to know more, does it not? Sure, why not? We'll listen. Sounds like I have a fellow connoisseur of ancient cultures here. Alright, bud, you'd better brace yourself, because I'm about to blow your mind. So get this, people actually live on this sky island, and they get around by flying on the backs of huge birds that are way bigger than birds down here. Up there, everyone reveres the goddess, and the residents of all the islands in the sky live in a perfect society, totally free of conflict or unhappiness, but they do have rabid lemur cat-like things. Not only that, but from what I can tell, their civilization is way, way more advanced than ours down here. But it does not even stop there, bud. This Isle of the Goddess stuff has even more stuff to marvel at. The place was crafted by the goddess herself, so it figures that it is filled with wonders we do not have here. The buildings are made of gold. Wow, gold can take many colors apparently. Endless spring of mystical water feeds a river through the place. I mean, he's not wrong there. A sip of that stuff and you live forever. I mean, I would say he's wrong, but considering how few residents there are in Skyloft, in order for them to survive without a bunch of inbreeding, that actually makes sense. The trees are heavy with plump fruit that cures all disease. Again, would explain why disease didn't actually ravage the place. The fields are filled with pumpkins that never rot. That's also true. Magical wildflowers bloom everywhere. Don't know about that one. And the weather. Ooh, the weather, bud. Not too hot, not too cold. Pretty much bland and the exact same thing all year round, with the occasional chance of a malicious black tornado appearing every now and then. No chance of sweaty heat in this garden paradise. That is the Isle of the Goddess. Amazing, right? Wrong. It's beyond amazing. You want to hear more? Sure, why not? Good to hear, bud. I am completely obsessed with this place. I cannot get enough of it. I wish I had more to tell you, but I will need to research these statues to learn more. Next time I bump into you, I will give you the latest info. With that, why don't we activate it? Since, you know, this is the one to activate all of them. Whoa. What in the world just happened? Did you use some kind of magic? The statue reacted the moment you got near it, bud. How crazy is that? That's right. Just like he said, these are not only save statues, we can use these to go back to the sky. So, and whenever you drop from the sky, you'll be given an option to descend to one that you've activated. You have to examine it in order to activate it. The only exception is the statue where you first land. That one will be activated and free to jump to automatically. But other than that, every bird statue, in order to actually jump to it from the sky, you have to examine it. That is really important, because there are times where I went through an area without examining a statue, and when I tried to go back there, I couldn't descend there from the sky. I had to walk there. So with that, I think we're going to call it an episode here. Next time on Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword, we'll pursue Zelda and head into Faron Woods. See you guys then.